In this video, I'll show how you can install OpenClaw inside of an EasyPanel instance of your VPS. But if you're not familiar with OpenClaw yet, let me try to draw this out. The idea is that it serves as an agent that works 24/7. So OpenClaw, let's have this circle represent that OpenClaw instance. And then either from your phone, from your Mac, PC, or whatever, you can access that agent. And by the way, some people use this agent inside of their own personal computer. Security-wise, this might be an issue, especially in the way that you installed it. But even if you do install it successfully, you'll need to leave it turned on 24/7 or whatever time you're using the agent. And that's why some people just opt to using a Mac Mini for this. But honestly, it's kind of a big investment, especially if you're not sure if you'll actually use an AI agent like this. So before considering a Mac Mini, I'd recommend you testing it using a VPS, and specifically Hostinger, the sponsor of this video. In this channel, you'll never see me take on a sponsorship of a product that I don't use. So I was pretty happy when Hostinger reached out to me to make a OpenClaw video around their VPS. The only detail I noticed is that if right now you type in OpenClaw VPS, you'll see a bunch of installations that guide you through this process. It is the easiest option, and I'll show you briefly how it works. But I've also seen a lot of people asking how they could install OpenClaw inside of an EasyPanel instance of their Hostinger VPS. And the reason to do this is pretty simple. When you have a managed VPS, all you have inside of that instance is OpenClaw. And you could arguably have OpenClaw open up some ports and install some projects inside of this managed instance. But with EasyPanel, you have much more control of your VPS, being able to install different services. So for example, you can add a Postgres server right here, a Next.js project here, and a caching system like Redis, for example. When you head over to hostinger.com/OpenClaw, you'll see two options. So managed OpenClaw and OpenClaw on VPS. What I'm talking about is not OpenClaw on VPS, so you can ignore that option for now. Let's briefly check how the managed OpenClaw plan works. I've placed a link for this page in the description of the video. After selecting your plan, you can add Leonardo Grig for an even bigger discount of 10%. This should work fine for both 12 and 24-month plans. So just in case you're starting up a new VPS, you'll be prompted to choose a server location. I'll have Boston as my server location, and then in here, you'll want to type in OpenClaw. It'll identify you want to install a Docker application, and from this point onwards, it's pretty simple. Just click Next, and eventually you'll have an OpenClaw managed instance. Then whenever you open up your Hostinger panel, you should see all of the VPS or the managed instance. Find your OpenClaw server, click on Manage, go up here where it says Docker Manager. As soon as you click that, all the projects will be opened. And by the way, this is all created automatically on Hostinger side. To open your OpenClaw instance, just click on Open, Advanced, Proceed. You'll mostly have to do that because you don't have a certificate yet. Click on Gateway Token. This will add to your clipboard. Paste it back here, hit Login, and you should see your OpenClaw control panel just fine. Something else that Hostinger helps you out initially is by setting up an LLM. They do this by default with the Nexus.ai provider, which if you're out of credits, you can top up right here. But if you have a specific LLM you're using, so for example, an OpenAI LLM, you can just go up here, click on Manage. Once this page opens up, just scroll down to Environment, add Environment, and in here, just add OpenAI _ API _ key. Here where it says value, just add your OpenAI API key. And then once you restart your container, OpenClaw should pick up on that API key and use the LLM that you want. All right, so that was the managed OpenClaw instance. Let's check how you can add it to EasyPanel. Usually you guys prefer that I just go through the process instead of explaining each detail of the process. So that's exactly what I'll do. First, let me choose a server location. Let me hit Next. And now let me type in EasyPanel in here. It'll identify the control panel. Let me just click on EasyPanel, hit select. Now you'll have to add a root password. Just click on generate and hit next. Hostinger comes with a free malware scanner, so check that and hit finish setup. Soon you'll see this page setting up your VPS. Just wait a few minutes and it should be done. All right, that's it. So let's click on manage VPS. Once this page opens, click on Manage Panel. Just fill out this form, and once you do, hit Setup. The absolute first thing you'll want to do here is click on Dark Mode because you don't want to be blind in a few years. Now click here to create a project. I'll name it AI _ agent. Now once it's created, click to add a new service, go over to Templates, type in OpenClaw, and you should see this option. If you don't, then you probably need to update your EasyPanel. But if you follow through with this specific installation, the most recent EasyPanel instance should be up, and therefore you should see OpenClaw in here. Once you click that, you'll see a bunch of options. Just hit Command or Control and then click on the minus sign on your keyboard. This should zoom out and you should now be able to see the Create button. So let me hit Create. Now go to Project. Let me zoom back in, so Command or Control plus. Now just wait for it to be installed. If it's still running, you can go down to the Deployments tab and click on View to check out what's going on. Once it is deployed, what you want to do is click on Console up here, select Bash, and now let's paste in exactly this, which will be in the description of the video. Before I do so, let me actually add these variables. The first one being from OpenRouter. This is a provider that allows you to use most of the LLMs and just makes the process much easier. So let's click on Add Key. Let me type in OpenClaw inst and hit Create. Now let me grab this API key, open up my notes, and just replace OpenRouter _ API key with it. Now I also have to add my OpenClaw token. You can find that, so let's close this, go down to the Environment tab, and here it is. Here's where you can find the OpenClaw Gateway token, which is exactly what you need to add here. Down in the models parameter, you can see that I've made as primary the Gemini 3.1 Pro preview, and as a fallback, the auto from OpenRouter. Additionally, you have to mention those models down here, as well as any other model that you might want to use. So now let me copy everything, go back to the console, select Bash, and just paste that all in here. After I hit enter, it'll seem like nothing happened, but it did successfully change your OpenClaw.json. Now just click on the open button from EasyPanel and you should see an error requesting your gateway token. Grab that same OpenClaw gateway token as before, head over to the Overview tab and add it to the gateway token input right here. Hit connect, and you should be connected just fine. Going over to the Agents tab is where you can configure which model you want to use. Let me select GPT OSS 120B, which is a very fast model. As soon as I hit save, that is the primary model that it will use, and now I can just have a chat with it. So hello, and there you are. It's using a free model from OpenRouter, by the way, which is currently free. It doesn't mean it'll be free forever, but from now and then they have some great models for free. From this point on, it's not so much about installing OpenClaw, but rather use it. For example, you can have it work on Telegram, WhatsApp, and many other channels. But mostly, you can still use your VPS instance to run many different things. Like what I said before, Postgres, Mongo, Redis. You can even have your personal blog running here through WordPress and even use OpenClaw to write the articles. I'm not sure there's a limit to how many services you can add, but there is a limit to projects. You can only create 3 projects, but that's honestly more than enough for most use cases. All right, that's it for today. Make sure to check out Hostinger. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then.